The rain poured down in sheets, drenching the streets of downtown Crestwood. The city was a sprawling maze of glass and steel, but beneath its polished surface lurked a darker underbelly. Corruption ran deep, and the Crestwood Police Department was no exception. Officers who once swore to protect and serve had become predators, preying on the vulnerable and lining their pockets with ill-gotten gains. At the heart of the city stood a modest but thriving auto repair shop, Miles Ahead Motors. Its owner, Marcus Mac Miles, was a tall, broad-shouldered man with a quiet demeanor and a reputation for fairness. Mac had served his country for over a decade as a Delta Force operator, but after losing his younger brother to gang violence, he decided to return home and make a difference in his community. His shop employed local youth, offering them a chance to escape the cycle of poverty and crime. But Mac's success had drawn the wrong kind of attention. It started with small things. A parking ticket here, a noise complaint there. Then came the inspections, fire safety, health code, zoning violations, all of which Mac passed with flying colors. But the harassment didn't stop. One evening, as Mac was closing up shop, 2 officers from the Crestwood PD showed up, Sergeant Vince Hargrove and his partner, Officer Rick Dalton. Both men had a reputation for shaking down local businesses, especially those owned by people of color. "Evening, Mr. Miles," Hargrove said, his tone dripping with false politeness. "We've had some complaints about your shop. Noise, illegal modifications, that sort of thing." Mac crossed his arms, his sharp eyes narrowing. "You've inspected this place 3 times in the last month. You know there's nothing illegal going on here." Dalton smirked, leaning against the counter. "Maybe. But it'd be a shame if something did happen. A fire, maybe. Or a break-in. Bad for business, you know?" Mac's jaw tightened. He'd dealt with bullies before, but these men were in uniform, wielding their badges like weapons. "What do you want?" Hargrove's smile turned predatory. $5,000 a month. Call it insurance." Mac stared at them, his expression unreadable. "Get out of my shop." The officers exchanged a glance, their smiles fading. "Big mistake, Miles," Hargrove said, his voice low. "You're gonna regret this." The next few weeks were hell. Mac's shop was vandalized twice, and his employees were harassed by police during their commutes. But Mac didn't back down. He installed state-of-the-art security cameras and began documenting every interaction with the Crestwood PD. He also reached out to an old friend from his Delta Force days, a tech wizard named Javi Morales, who helped him gather evidence of the department's corruption. One night, as Mac was working late, the inevitable happened. Hargrove and Dalton returned, this time with 2 more officers in tow. They stormed into the shop, guns drawn. "Hands where we can see 'em, Miles," Hargrove barked. Mac raised his hands slowly, his expression calm. "You really don't want to do this." Dalton laughed. "You think you're tough? You're just another deadbeat trying to play businessman. We own this town, and you're either with us or against us." Mac's eyes flicked to the security camera in the corner, its red light blinking steadily. "You're making a mistake." Hargrove stepped closer, his gun aimed at Mac's chest. "No, you made the mistake when you thought you could defy us." What happened next was a blur. In one fluid motion, Mac disarmed Hargrove, using the sergeant's own gun to knock Dalton unconscious. The other 2 officers barely had time to react before Mac was on them, his movements precise and lethal. Within seconds, all 4 men were on the ground, disarmed and incapacitated. Mac stood over them, his breathing steady. "I gave you a chance to walk away," he said, his voice cold. "Now, you'll face the consequences." The fallout was swift. Mac's security footage, along with the evidence Javi had gathered, was leaked to the media. The Crestwood PD was thrown into chaos as federal investigators descended on the city. Hargrove, Dalton, and several other officers were arrested, and the department was placed under federal oversight. Mac became a local hero, but he didn't seek the spotlight. He returned to his shop, focusing on his work and his community. The youth he employed looked up to him more than ever, inspired by his courage and resilience. As for Hargrove and Dalton, they learned the hard way that some men are far more dangerous than they appear. Mac Miles wasn't just a business owner, he was a warrior, a protector, and a force to be reckoned with. And Crestwood would never forget it.